puddles of water are nothing less than oases for these birds. A moment of little respite, a respite from the severe heat wave. New Delhi has been on red alert for a heat wave over the past few days. The city's maximum temperatures at certain locations even went beyond 50 degrees Celsius. A never-seen-before experience for India's capital. The situation is quite similar in several other parts of the country. Much of Pakistan is reeling under severe heat wave too. Temperatures crossed 52 degrees Celsius in the southern province of Sindh. People are surviving on ice, watermelon and anything cold they find. As temperatures soar, wildfires are raging in several parts of the world. See the plumes of smoke billowing out behind the Faisal Mosque, an iconic landmark in Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. The smoke was coming from a huge fire that was blazing in the hills of Islamabad amidst the heat wave. And it's not just Asia. The picture is quite similar in other parts of the world. Mexico in South America continues to reel under heat wave. The visuals you see on the screen is of a dam in Guanajuato. Dam, but no water. This has become the crude reality of Mexico. The country is facing a severe drought. Water crisis remained a key issue in the recent elections in Mexico, which elected the country's first ever woman president. So what's causing this global heat wave? The answer lies in the climate phenomena called El Nino. It happens when the surface temperature of the Pacific Ocean warms up more than usual. This occurs every 2 to 7 years on average and typically lasts 9 to 12 months. When El Nino kicks in, it disrupts the normal weather patterns, leading to extreme heat waves, droughts and even heavy rainfall in some areas. It is the El Nino effect that 2023 happened to be the warmest year on record. It's like a domino effect where one event triggers a chain reaction of extreme weather events around the world. These corals in Thailand's eastern Gulf Coast were once vibrant and colorful, but now they have turned white. Reason? The rising sea surface temperatures. Yes, rising sea temperatures are causing coral bleaching. The coral reefs are important elements of the marine ecosystem. They act as both a food resource and habitat. Now, deteriorating reefs can have a significant impact on marine biodiversity. But here's a contrasting picture. While El Nino is triggering severe heat waves and droughts in parts of the world, there are places that are grappling with massive floods too. Look how massive floods devastated southern Brazil. Hundreds of people were killed and thousands displaced. Heavy rains lashed Sri Lanka, causing landslides and flash floods. Several people were killed. Sri Lanka's disaster management agency said 20 of the island nation's 25 districts were hit by floods. In northeast India's Manipur, thousands of people were evacuated after heavy rains caused flash floods in several parts of the state. Even in other parts of the world, such as in southern Germany, flash floods have taken a toll on life. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited the affected areas, and this is what he says.
We are very clear that this here is not just one occurrence, as they have been happening for centuries, but that there are now repeatedly cases where we are fighting catastrophes, especially floods. This is the 4th time this year I am visiting such an area, and it's an indication of what is going on. So we must not neglect the task of halting man-made climate change.
Now, the latest forecast from the World Meteorological Organization says El Nino is showing signs of ending, and there is a possibility of a swing back to La Nina conditions later this year. So what is La Nina? La Nina is a natural climate phenomena. It is characterized by cooler than average sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean near the equator. So it generates the opposite effects of El Nino on global weather. And how will La Nina impact the global weather? Well, it leads to wetter conditions in parts of Australia, Southeast Asia, India, Southeast Africa and northern Brazil, while causing drier conditions in parts of South America. It can also contribute to more severe Atlantic hurricanes. So in India's context, La Nina is associated with strong monsoons, above average rains and colder winters. The World Meteorological Organization said La Nina will not lead to any major drop in land surface or sea surface temperatures in the next few months. This means there isn't any immediate relief on the way. The UN weather body warns that the end of El Nino doesn't mean climate change is taking a break. The heat-trapping greenhouse gases will continue to push temperatures up. According to the International Energy Agency, methane is responsible for around 30% of the rise in global temperatures. Scientists have attributed the extreme global weather events to human-induced climate change. These extreme weather events are a wake-up call. Let's turn down the heat and climate change before it boils over. Well, that's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. This is Munman Bhattacharya signing off. Goodbye for now from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. Take care and stay safe.